Hey, what's up, guys? Chain Trades, otherwise known as Luke. Let's just quickly jump into this trade recap. Today, I made $310 trading ES and NQ futures. Today, I was a little bit all over the place, but I was still able to take some profitable trades. And obviously, just first looking at this these trades didn't play out fully in the way that I wanted, but I was super aggressive today with a few things, and I'll kind of explain that. So going into today, we had unemployment claims at 6:30. So we have 6:30 news right here. We're pretty bearish. We'll pop on the 5 minute real quick. We're pretty bearish in pre-market, coming all the way to market open. We basically sweep London lows, both indexes, and on NQ, we're in this giant fair value gaps. We sweep London lows, so really good confluences. But my first trade that I took today is pre-market. It was right before we went to London lows. I'll show you right here. So we basically go for this fair value gap right here. I'll show you where I enter. So I enter off of this candle, this black candle. So I was really confident that we were going to sweep London lows on both indexes in pre-market, which did happen. And I was trying to capitalize on it. I risked a little bit too much. So essentially 1 minute price action, we come up into this fair value gap, we fill it, we exit it. I get entered somewhere around here, so a 1 to 5, so not a bad RR. Get stopped out right after I get barely wicked out, and then price goes eventually and sweeps London lows. But essentially I lost like 150 on this trade on my personal, or my funded, then like 50 on my personal. I risked a little bit too much for a pre-market trade like this. It was a really quick, really just instant decision. Anywho, that was the first trade. So going into the second trade, we're gonna look kind of at market open. So we're still in bearish order flow on the 5 minute, but on the 1 minute, right before market open, I'll show you the market open candle. The market open candle is this one right here, 7:30. But right before market open, we swept London lows, and then we break structure and inverse the fair value gap on the 1 minute. Then we retrace into equilibrium and a fair value gap on the 1 minute. So these are 1 minute confluences based off of a high time frame draw that was taken out. Very risky, so I de-risked. I had one contract on both my accounts, so the risk was like $50 because I already had risked almost half my risk that I wanted to risk in the day on that trade from earlier, which was too much. But anyway, so I enter in pretty immediately. We start running. So typically with a 1 minute trade, if you're going from a high time, if you're going from a high time frame draw, you typically want to go to low resistance liquidity, and that's really where I should have exited right away, which is right here. This was our low resistance liquidity draw for the day on the 5 minute. On the 15 minute, we had that same draw right here, and I should have exited the trade there, and the trade would actually played out just straight to there, just really cool. But considering that I did lose an extended amount of capital before, and considering what NQ was doing, NQ was super bullish. In fact, we make a SMT at that current draw. I'll show you real quick. So essentially, we sweep out these lows, NQ sweeps out the highest one, and we did not sweep out the highest one at that point in time for 5 minute highs, if that makes sense. So we're in SMT. I should just exited right up here, which I did technically exit right up here, but I essentially set my stop right in this fair value gap right here. So the fair value gap got filled and price kept going higher, which I thought price definitely had proper momentum to continue higher. That's what NQ was showing me. That's what ES was showing me. Besides the SMT, that's why I did make this as risk-free as I could. I would stay in the trade, and I get stopped out, which was totally fine. I get stopped out on profit, so I'm basically I'm more than break even on my personal now, and then I'm maybe 100 down on my funded, something like that. So I'm almost back to break even for the day. Cool. From there, I'm done trading for the day, but I will look for a 5-minute confluence because I did believe a 5-minute retrace could be happening, and that's what we get. We get a 5-minute retrace into equilibrium, 5-minute equilibrium, a 5-minute fair value gap. We also get a 5-minute retrace into order block, breaker block, which is this orange line right there, order block, breaker block. We get the same thing. We get equilibrium, which roughly without marking it right about here, and we do get it. Fair value gap, cool, on NQ. So from here, since I was almost break even, I did decide to risk a little more capital just because I believed I had really good confluences for this type of trade. I should have taken this trade on NQ. NQ's the leading index at this point. Not necessarily, not that it was like the leading index based off of the SMT. This SMT, the short time frame SMT, was bearish. It wasn't bullish, but NQ was much like NQ's price action was better for this trade. Like, long story short, which I was targeting London highs, barely went to London highs. So essentially, she was taking it on NQ, but I took it on ES just because of the risk. I could de-risk, but what I did not anticipate, I plotted my risk right for this fair value gap right here. So look, so we're in bearish structure on the 1 minute. There's a fair value gap right here. There's a break of structure off this high right here. We break structure. I enter in 4 contracts on my personal, or sorry, I entered 4 on my funded, 2 on my personal, and that was maybe a little bit too much risk for my personal, or sorry, for my funded since I already had lost. So I maybe risked 300 and 150 respectively, right? But price did go in the direct. We were in drawdown. We went into a fair value gap. We filled 1 minute equilibrium, but price did end up going to where I wanted it to go, and it was this London high, which was really equivalent for me, probably like this 15-minute high. So I was very aggressive with my stop loss though. Just because I knew we were going to a high time frame high. We were probably going to get a reversal. Price action had been questionable, not bad by any means, but and it's not that price action was necessarily bad. It was more my psychology at the current time in the market. Like I had already taken 2 trades. One of them I barely lost. The other one, I got stopped out, but I got stopped out on profit. So I don't know. Like, my psychology today was not the best it could be. I wasn't the sharpest I could be, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so I'm trailing my stop loss just on 1 minute confluences. First, I go to break even on the trade once we actually push above these highs, because there was a SMT, a 1 minute SMT between these highs right here. But obviously, we break the SMT when we push above the high. Cool. And then I'm just kind of waiting. I move my, this is before NQ took out London highs. I move my take profit to this 15-minute low resistance draw right here, which would have probably been like 400-ish in profit, something like that. And I move my stop loss right here on this fair value gap right here. And I could have had a maybe, I don't know. I was really aggressive with my stop loss because I had profit and I didn't know just how volatile today was, if we were going to actually take out these draws or not. So I was more okay with getting stopped out in profit if doing a larger retrace than getting stopped out at break even and not maintaining any profit at all. And it paid off in my advantage today. Not that it would always pay off in my advantage, but essentially I got stopped out in like 200-ish in profit, 100 on my personal, 200 on my funded. Today total I made 310. So not bad, all things considered, but I definitely feel like my psychology could be better. I could be more on point with what I'm doing, but I am very happy with the progress that I'm making. So with that being said, you're loved, you're seen. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one, and go check out the Insta at Real Chain Trades. See you guys. Peace.
He who is back again, never quick to fail. Double back, won't miss a meal. Sharp as steel, don't hurt everything there is to say about me. I ain't tripping, don't let lucky here, he don't play about me. Loyalty is not for sale. Wishing those who wish me well a great bill of health. They don't teach the broke kids how to maintain the wealth.